The midday sun was high in the sky, shining over the rooftops of Brooklyn Heights. It was very hot and the streets felt like they were melting. On a busy movie set for John Wick 5, people were working hard, moving around like little ants. They were fixing lights, cameras, and wires. Then the director shouted, "That's a wrap for this scene. 1 hour break." Everyone looked happy and tired. Keanu Reeves wiped sweat from his forehead. His black suit was sticking to his back. Jason Statham took off his jacket, and his gray t-shirt was soaked with sweat. The two actors looked at each other. They didn't need to speak much. They understood each other well. "Are you going to that deli on the Atlantic?" Jason asked, shaking sweat off his hand. Keanu looked at the food tent and then down at the dog next to him. It was Buddy, the dog actor who played his loyal dog in the movie. Buddy was panting, tongue out, looking hot and tired. "I think Buddy needs the break more than I do," Keanu said. He knelt and scratched Buddy behind the ears. "Fair enough," Jason said. "Mind if I come with you? We can talk about that rooftop chase scene we're filming tomorrow." Keanu smiled. "Yeah, let's walk." The dog handler came over with a clipboard. "Mr. Reeves, I can take Buddy back to the trailer." Keanu shook his head. "No, it's okay. I want to walk with him. It helps us get closer. Besides," he looked at Jason, "it's the least I can do before asking him to jump and bark on command all day." So with the leash in hand, Keanu and Jason left the set and walked through the city streets. Buddy trotted happily between them. The sounds of cars, construction, and voices filled the air. But it felt peaceful to leave the noisy movie set behind. They walked past old buildings and walls with colorful graffiti. Soon they saw a small open plaza in front of a bar called Iron and Ash. The sign was rusty and the paint was chipped. There were big motorcycles parked outside, lined up like sleeping monsters. Music and laughter came from inside the bar. At the edge of the plaza, they saw a small water fountain. "Jackpot," Jason said, pointing at it. Keanu nodded and took out a foldable bowl from his jacket. He filled it with water and Buddy drank happily, his tail wagging. Keanu knelt to hold the bowl steady. Jason looked around. A few bikers stood near the bar. One older man with a gray beard and tattoos walked over. He looked at Buddy and said, "Nice dog. People judge pit bulls wrong. They're very loyal if you treat them well." Keanu nodded. "That's true. He's better company than some people I've met." The man chuckled and walked away. But just then, another biker came out of the bar. He was taller and younger, with a shaved head and a long leather vest. A big tiger was drawn on the back of his vest. He looked at Buddy and said in a mean voice, "Filthy animal. Should be on a leash." "Oh wait, he is." Keanu stood up slowly. His face was calm, but his eyes looked sharp. Jason also stood, ready for anything. "Is there something you want?" Jason asked with a serious voice. The biker just scoffed and walked back into the bar. "Friendly place," Jason muttered. "Let's find somewhere quieter," Keanu said. They kept walking and soon turned down a street with trees and shade. It was quieter here. Then they saw a cute little cafe with lights hanging above the outdoor tables. Even though it was daytime, the lights were still on. A sign outside said, "Try our steak sandwich." "This looks good," Jason said, sitting down. Keanu tied Buddy's leash gently to the table. A waitress came over, smiling. Her name tag said Maggie. "Oh my gosh, he's so cute," she said, kneeling to pet Buddy. "Is he okay here?" Keanu smiled. "He's trained and friendly. Hope it's okay." "Of course," Maggie said. "We get lots of dog lovers here." They ordered steak sandwiches, coffee, and a plain beef patty for Buddy. While waiting, Keanu looked over his movie script and patted Buddy now and then. Buddy was calm and happy. But just as their food came, a shadow appeared. It was the same mean biker from earlier. Well, he said. "You let that mutt sit at the table like he owns it?" Before anyone could stop him, he kicked Buddy hard in the side. The dog yelped and stumbled back. Everyone on the patio went quiet. Keanu stood up slowly. Jason stood too. "What is wrong with you?" Keanu asked. The biker rolled his neck and said, "It's just a dog." Jason's eyes turned cold. "And you're just a coward." The biker growled and pointed at Keanu. "You'll regret this. Both of you." Then he walked away. Maggie came running. "I'm so sorry," she said. "He sometimes comes here and causes trouble. I don't know how he got in." Keanu checked Buddy. The dog was breathing fast but seemed okay. "He'll be fine," Keanu said. "But that man, he's not just angry. He's dangerous." Jason nodded. "We need to watch out." Keanu gave Buddy the beef Maggie brought. The dog ate slowly, still a bit scared. The patio calmed down, but everyone could feel something was wrong. After lunch, Keanu looked at his watch. Still got 15 minutes? I'm going to use the restroom. He tied Buddy's leash to the table again and looked at Maggie. Could you watch him? Of course, she said kindly. He'll be safe. Jason stayed at the table, drinking his coffee and watching the street. Inside, Keanu waited in a small line for the bathroom. He felt something strange, like a warning in his gut. He thought about the biker's face and his angry words. When Keanu came back outside 10 minutes later, his heart dropped. Maggie was gone. Buddy was choking. His eyes were wide and his body was shaking. The dog looked like he couldn't breathe. A young waitress nearby was panicking. A man, he gave him something. I thought it was a treat. Keanu grabbed Buddy. We have to go now, he shouted. Jason was already calling 911. They ran as fast as they could, Buddy in Keanu's arms. Keanu's arms hurt from carrying Buddy, but he didn't stop. Jason ran next to him, checking his phone for directions. 2 blocks. Left on Henry. Jason shouted. Keanu nodded, teeth clenched. Hold on, boy. Don't give up. They turned the corner and saw a vet clinic. A blue sign with a cross shined like a beacon. Keanu ran inside. My dog's been poisoned, he cried. A doctor named Dr. Mia came out. Bring him here, she said. They put Buddy on a table. Buddy made a weak sound and then went very still. What did he eat? Dr. Mia asked. Some sausage, Keanu said, shaking. A stranger gave it to him. Jason added, it was the same guy who kicked him earlier. We'll give him charcoal and pump his stomach, Dr. Mia said. A nurse rushed in. Keanu stepped back, fists clenched. Jason put a hand on his shoulder. He's in good hands now. Dr. Mia came back after some time. He's stable for now. We gave him medicine. But the poison was strong, rat poison and drugs. It's serious. Will he live? Keanu asked. We got him here just in time. He needs to rest and be watched closely. That's not luck, Jason said. That's timing. They waited quietly. Keanu paced. Jason stood near the wall, thinking. This was planned, Keanu said. He knew Buddy was with me. Jason nodded. This isn't just about the dog anymore. Keanu stepped outside for air. Jason stayed and checked his phone. He messaged people from the movie set, asking for any security footage from the cafe. Then a door creaked. Jason looked up. A man in scrubs pushed a cart down the hall. Something fell off. The man had gloves on even though it was hot. Jason didn't recognize him. You new here? Jason asked. Yeah, the man said. I help in the kitchen. Funny. Someone said that same thing on our set yesterday, Jason said. The man moved his hand toward his pocket. Jason moved fast. He grabbed the man's wrist, twisted it, and pushed him against the wall. A knife dropped to the floor. Call security, Jason shouted. Nurses came running. 2 staff held the man down. Under his clothes, he wore the same leather vest, with the tiger picture. Keanu came back and saw the man being taken away. Don't tell me, Keanu said. Jason nodded. He came to hurt Buddy again. Dr. Mia returned, looking scared. He wasn't one of us. If Jason hadn't stopped him, he could have hurt your dog again. Keanu looked at Jason. These aren't just random bad guys. Jason said, they're after you. This is something bigger. And it's only the beginning. Keanu looked down the hallway that led to the treatment room. He was worried because Buddy was the one they hurt, because he couldn't fight back. But Keanu and Jason weren't going to let the bad people win. A few hours passed. Then Dr. Mia came out again. His body is doing better, she said. The medicine is working. But he needs to stay here for 24 hours so we can watch him. He's not safe yet. Keanu felt a big wave of relief. He sat down hard on a chair. His hands, which had been tight fists, finally relaxed. Can I see him? He asked. Just for a little while, Dr. Mia said, and led them into a quiet room. Buddy was lying on a soft blanket. There was a small tube in his leg to give him medicine. When he saw Keanu, Buddy's tail moved a little. Keanu knelt next to him. You're stronger than you look, he whispered. Buddy gently leaned his head into Keanu's hand. Jason was standing nearby, quiet but watching. We need to find out who did this, Jason said. I have a feeling they're not done yet. Keanu looked up. Then we start tonight. Jason raised an eyebrow. You're serious? Very serious, Keanu said as he stood, keeping one hand on Buddy's side. We're going back to Iron and Ash. Jason's face turned serious. Then let's make sure this time we're the ones hunting them. They told Dr. Mia their phone numbers and made sure all of Buddy's medical bills would be paid. Then they stepped outside into the night. Keanu looked back one last time. Hang in there, buddy. We have a job to do. Then they walked into the dark streets of Brooklyn, leaving behind the beeping machines and stepping toward something much more dangerous. It was night when Keanu and Jason got back near Iron and Ash, the scary bar. The streetlights made everything look spooky. A bunch of shiny motorcycles were lined up outside, like steel animals ready to pounce. Inside the bar, loud music played like a steady heartbeat. The street was quieter now, but not empty. Keanu and Jason stood across the street. They wore simple hoodies and hats pulled low to hide their faces. They didn't want anyone to notice them yet. Are you sure you want to do this? Jason asked in a quiet voice. Keanu's jaw was tight. They tried to hurt a dog in a public cafe. Then they went into a clinic. We're not waiting for their next move. Jason nodded. All right. Let's find out who did this. They crossed the street slowly, walking with the other people. Keanu went to the front door. Jason went around the back, looking at the alley and side door. Keanu pushed open the heavy door to Iron and Ash. The air inside smelled like smoke and sweat. It was dark and noisy, but there was some kind of order, like people knew who was in charge. He walked to the bar and looked around. He didn't see the man who had kicked Buddy, but he did see others wearing the same vest with a tiger logo on it. He heard bits of conversations, names, strange words, and secret talks, but he didn't stop. Hey, someone said. A bartender with lots of tattoos and a nose ring was staring at him. You lost. Keanu smiled a little. Just thirsty. Want something strong. The bartender grunted. Sit or get out. While that happened, Jason went to the back. He found a door near the trash cans. It was open a little. Inside, he heard mean laughter and boxes clattering. He quietly stepped in. The hallway was full of crates, bottles, and a blinking light. He moved carefully, looking for cameras or trouble. At the end of the hallway, a door opened and he heard voices. Next batch is ready. Mixed it this morning. Are you sure it works? The dog didn't die. That's why we gave a second dose. Jason's eyes narrowed. He crept closer and found a closet where he could peek into the back room. Inside, he saw a table full of things. Syringes, meat, sealed bags, and small papers with writing. This wasn't just mean people. This was a big plan. He took out his phone and took pictures. Then he saw it, a box labeled Animal Test Batch. One package looked just like the one Buddy had eaten from. Jason took a deep breath and started to leave, but, clink, he stepped on a bottle. It made a loud noise. The voices stopped. Jason didn't wait. He ran down the hall. A big man with a bat came running after him. Jason ran outside. Keanu, who had just come out the side door, heard the noise and ran to help. What happened? Keanu asked as they both ran. I got pictures. They were talking about poison. They knew Buddy lived and didn't care. Keanu's face turned angry. We need to tell the cops. Suddenly they heard a motorcycle start. One of the bikers was chasing them. Jason pushed a trash bin into the alley behind them. The motorcycle crashed into the wall. The biker groaned in pain. But more could come any minute. They ran through the next street, full of cars and people. Horns honked and people yelled, but they didn't stop. When they were safe, they hid under the roof of a closed store. Jason pulled out his phone again. Look at this, he said, showing Keanu a picture of the label. It says it's a pet snack, but look at the tiny letters, bad chemicals. This is enough for a big police investigation. Keanu nodded. We need someone we trust. Jason answered right away. Hank? Keanu called Sheriff Dale Rourke. Hank, it's Keanu. We've got a big problem in Brooklyn Heights. Bad people poisoning animals. They tried to hurt Buddy. We have proof. Slow down, Dale said. Do you have evidence? We do, Jason said. Pictures, names, samples. We even recorded them talking. But we need help fast. I'll send a team, Dale said. Stay away from the bar. You're not the police. We didn't plan to be, Keanu said. But this is personal. Send me everything, Dale said. And don't go back there. They sent everything, pictures, maps, voice recordings. Dale replied quickly. My team is on the way. They'll be there in 25 minutes. Stay hidden. Keanu and Jason waited in a parking garage. Keanu looked out at the city. They were going to hurt more dogs, he said softly. Maybe people too, Jason added. They messed with the wrong dog and the wrong people. They heard sirens in the distance. Then Keanu's phone buzzed. It was Hank. We're almost there. Be ready. Across from the bar, dark vans pulled up. Police in special gear moved quickly. They surrounded the building. Suddenly, flashlights, loud shouting, and screams. Then, silence. 5 minutes later, Dale called again. We got them. Lots of poison, records, and one of the men admitted they were testing on stray dogs. They were getting ready for something bigger. You stopped them. Keanu let out a long breath. What about the guy who hurt Buddy? Jason asked. We got him, Dale said. And the person who went into the clinic. Same group. Keanu's fists were tight. Good. You two saved a lot of lives today, Dale said. I'll keep your name secret unless you say otherwise. Keep it quiet, Keanu said. This isn't about us. After the call, Keanu leaned against the garage wall. Jason stood next to him with his arms crossed. We need to check on Buddy, Keanu said. They got a cab and went back to the vet. Dr. Mia smiled when she saw them. He's stable. Still weak, but he's wagging his tail. Can we see him? Jason asked. Of course. In the room, Buddy lifted his head when they came in. His tail moved slowly. Keanu knelt beside him, his face soft. You held on, he whispered. We've got you. Jason smiled. Told you he's a fighter. Dr. Mia looked at them. You were lucky. And he was very brave. No, Keanu said. He's the reason we did this. That dog didn't just survive, he showed us something worse. Jason looked at Buddy's medicine tubes and the monitor beside him. And we're not done yet. The next morning felt a little more peaceful. Keanu and Jason went back to the vet early. They brought coffee and looked around carefully. Dr. Mia met them with tired eyes but a hopeful smile. He made it through the night, she said. Still weak but doing better. We'll keep giving him fluids and medicine, but I think he's going to be okay. They followed her into the room. Buddy was resting on his blanket. When he saw them, his tail wagged slowly. Keanu knelt beside him. You look better, partner. Buddy gave his hand a soft lick. Jason took a small step forward with a little smile. I think he wants steak, he said. They stayed with Buddy for almost an hour. They were happy he was okay. But the peace didn't last. Keanu walked out to the clinic lobby to call the movie's producer and tell him how Buddy was doing. Then something caught his eye. He stopped. Across the street, a man was watching the building. He wore a tan jacket, a baseball cap, and dark sunglasses. He tried to look like a regular person, but the way he stood made Keanu feel something was wrong. Keanu acted like he didn't see the man. He walked back inside. Jason, he said very quietly, across the street, left side of the deli awning. Jason peeked through the blinds. I see him. You think he's one of them? Let's find out, Keanu said. They waited a few minutes. Then they went out the back of the clinic, walked around the block, and came up behind the man. As they got closer, the man turned and stepped back quickly. Hold up, Jason said. Why are you watching the clinic? I'm press, the man said nervously. New York Sentinel. Just covering the arrests. Where's your badge? Keanu asked calmly. The man waited too long to answer. Jason stepped closer and grabbed his wrist. A small audio recorder fell out of the man's jacket. Try again, Jason said firmly. All right, the man said quickly. I'm freelance. Sloan Bishop sent me. She's writing a big story about animals being hurt, biker gangs, and how vets are getting harassed. People want to know. Keanu narrowed his eyes. Sloan Bishop? Yeah, the man said. She said you might know something. I don't talk to people who send spies, Jason growled. Tell her that. The man pulled his arm free and ran off. Keanu looked at Jason. Sloan's real. She did a story last year about a shelter that was mistreating animals. Maybe we should talk to her before things get worse. You're not wrong, Jason said. But not here. Let's get back to the set. I've got a weird feeling about something there too. They went back to the movie set. Security had gotten tighter since the last incident. The crew looked happy to see them. The director gave them a new schedule. Keanu and Buddy's scenes would be pushed back a few days. We'll shoot the rooftop scenes first, the director said. Then bring Buddy back in when he's okay. Keanu said TDLU, but then he saw someone new near the prop trailer. A man in all black, carrying wires and a headset. Who's that? Keanu asked a crew member nearby. New tech guy. Hired just yesterday, the crew member said. Jason and Keanu looked at each other. Let's check him out. They walked over slowly. The man was pretending to fix audio gear, but his hands didn't look like he knew what he was doing. Jason could tell he was pretending. Hey, Jason called. Need help with that? The man looked up fast. No, I'm good, he said quickly. Name's Connor. Sound department. We didn't have a new Connor yesterday, Keanu said. Who hired you? I'm just filling in until Reggie comes back, the man said. Jason stepped forward and opened the equipment case next to the man. Inside were wires, screwdrivers, and at the bottom, a plastic package. It looked like raw meat. Keanu's stomach felt sick. "Security," he shouted. The man ran. Jason chased him and tackled him behind the trailer. Crew members ran over. When they opened the package, it had meat with something shiny and oily on it. Poison. The studio's head of security came, and the police arrived 15 minutes later. They found the same tiger claw symbol on the man's vest. It was in his car. "They're not giving up," Jason muttered as the man was taken away. "They won't stop until someone makes them," Keanu said. "They're trying to scare everyone, not just us. The whole crew." Later that day, Sloane Bishop came to the studio. This time she didn't send a spy. She wanted to talk to Keanu and Jason directly. They said yes, but only if everything stayed off the record. In a small trailer office, they sat across from her. Sloane wore glasses, a worn blazer, and held a recorder. But she didn't turn it on. "I want the truth," she said. "Not gossip. This isn't about movie stars. It's about people hurting animals, scaring workers, and causing fear. I found 2 more cases linked to the bar. But I need your side." Keanu looked at Jason. Jason gave a small nod. "It started with a walk," Keanu said, "but it turned into something bigger. They told her everything. The cafe. The poisonings. The clinic is being watched. The man trying to mess up the movie set." Sloane listened carefully. "You know who's behind it?" "We do," Jason said. "The police are working on it. But if you print the wrong thing, it could ruin everything." Sloane thought about it. "What if I wait on the story," she said, "but collect witness stories, videos, and proof? Enough to really show the truth once the arrests are done." "That's what we need," Keanu said. "Not drama. Truth." As she left, Sloane said one last thing. "You may have stopped something much bigger than you know." That evening, Keanu went back to the clinic one more time. Buddy was awake and sitting up. His tail wagged when he saw Keanu. "We got them," Keanu said softly, kneeling beside him. "Or most of them. There's still work to do. But for now, you're safe." Buddy pushed his head into Keanu's chest. The door opened behind them. Jason stepped in. "Set safe. Cops are watching. Are you ready to finish this?" Keanu stood up, his eyes serious. "Yeah. We're not just reacting now. We're going first." The next afternoon, Brooklyn Heights was busy like normal, but something felt different, like the city knew something big was happening. Keanu and Jason stood again across from Iron and Dash, the bad biker bar. Now it was being watched by undercover police. Officers were dressed like regular people. The plan was ready. Sheriff Dale Rourke had flown in early that morning. Keanu had asked him to come and help the NYPD. It made them feel safer but also reminded them this was serious. "You two stay out of sight," Dale told them earlier in a police van parked nearby. "Let the pros do their job." Keanu nodded, but he looked far away. If they hurt Buddy on purpose, they could hurt someone else next. "We have to stop them." Jason said, "Let's make this count." They sat in a coffee shop with dark windows and watched. Keanu sipped coffee. Then he saw an unmarked police car stop nearby. Officers got out quietly and moved into alleys. They were getting into position. Inside the bar, the gang members were laughing and drinking. They had no idea they were about to be caught. They wore the tiger claw sign on their jackets and tattoos. Keanu's phone buzzed. A message from Hank, "Moving in now." Keanu and Jason leaned forward, watching. Then, boom, both the front and back doors of the bar burst open. Officers ran in yelling. Chairs fell. People shouted. Some gang members tried to fight. Others raised their hands. It was fast and well done. In just a few minutes it was over. A line of bad guys came out in handcuffs. Some had bruises from fighting. Jason saw two people they recognized, the one who kicked Buddy and the fake tech guy from the set. Then Keanu saw him. The man who gave Buddy the poison sausage. The one with mean eyes. That man looked at Keanu through the window. They both recognized each other. Keanu stood up and walked outside. Jason followed. The man sneered through the van door. "Hope that mutt died," he said. Keanu stepped closer, face calm. His voice was quiet but sharp. "He didn't. And now you'll have a long time to think about why hurting a helpless dog made you feel strong." The man got angry, but an officer shut the van door before he could say anything. Sheriff Rourke came over, holding a clipboard. "We got everything we needed," he said. "Drugs, poison meat, money records, even a list of delivery places. They were sending this poison to parks and shelters." Jason shook his head. "This wasn't just about Buddy." "Nope," Dale said. "We stopped it just in time. And thanks to you two we did. I told the mayor, animal control, and the district attorney. Keanu let out a long breath. What about the bar? Closed for now, Dale said. The owner's being arrested too. He was part of it. That evening the news was everywhere. The headlines were big and bold. Biker gang busted in animal poisoning case. Famous actors help stop crime ring. Dog survives helps catch criminals. Pictures of the bad guys were on every screen. People online were angry but also thankful. But no one mentioned Keanu or Jason's names, just like they wanted. Their part in the story stayed secret. While the story was about keeping people safe and stopping the bad guys at the animal clinic, Buddy the dog was awake and happy. His tail was wagging fast when Keanu and Jason came back. He knows something good has happened, said Dr. Mia with a smile. Dogs are smarter than we think. Keanu bent down and gently hugged Buddy. You started this, Buddy, he said. You helped us find the truth. Jason threw a rubber ball. Buddy jumped up and caught it in the air. You're getting a big steak dinner for that, no questions asked. Jason said, laughing. They stayed at the clinic for a while, talking to Dr. Mia. They made a plan to take care of Buddy and promised to pay for all his medical needs. They also promised to give the clinic a big donation to tell you. As they were leaving, Keanu looked back at Buddy in the recovery room. He'll be back on set soon, he said. Jason smiled. Next time we hire real security. No more sound guys hiding sausages in their pockets. Outside the clinic, Sheriff Dale was waiting for them. There's one more thing, he said. He gave Jason a file and Keanu a folded paper. The court date is set. They'll go to court on Monday. All of them. They're facing many serious crimes. But one of them, Dale said, the guy with the mohawk, he wants a deal. He said he wants to tell the truth. He said it wasn't just about the dogs. Keanu opened the paper. It had notes written by hand. It was a full confession. The man wrote that the gang leader used to be a movie stuntman. He was fired after a bad accident during filming, a scene that Jason had been in years ago. Jason read the paper over Keanu's shoulder and sighed. I thought I recognized him. It was during a fight scene. He didn't follow the rules, so I stopped the scene. They fired him. Keanu looked at Hank. So this was all because he was angry at Jason? Part of it, Dale said. But then it got worse. They used poison, threats, and tried to scare people. It wasn't just about you anymore. They wanted to scare everyone. Well, now they get to face a judge, Jason said. Let's see how tough they are in court. Keanu nodded and looked up at the sky. Let's just get Buddy home first. They walked away into the night. The streets finally felt safe again. The scary feeling was gone, and now there was a strong feeling of doing the right thing. Justice had come back to Brooklyn Heights. The next morning, a soft light covered Brooklyn Heights. The city was waking up. Keanu stood at the hotel window watching the light shine on the buildings. The crazy things that had happened felt far away now, like a bad dream. But when he thought about Buddy almost choking at the cafe, it still hurt. He hadn't slept much. But he didn't need sleep. He needed to feel like everything was okay again. Jason knocked on the door. He had 2 coffees and a quiet look that said a lot without words. They sat together in silence for a while. What they had been through had made them closer. They both knew where they needed to go, the vet clinic. This time the clinic felt much happier. Dr. Mia smiled when she saw them. Her scrubs were wrinkled and she looked tired, but her eyes were full of joy. Buddy was standing now. His tail wagged, the 4 was gone, and even though his steps were a little wobbly, he was full of energy. He's ready to go home today, Dr. Mia said. He still needs a special diet and medicine for 1 more week, but he's going to be okay. Keanu knelt down and scratched behind Buddy's ears. Buddy leaned into him and licked his wrist. Are you ready to go back to work? Keanu whispered. They wrote a new scene just for you. Jason gave Buddy a pretend salute. Toughest actor on set, no doubt. While they filled out the papers, Keanu gave the clinic a big donation. So big, it could help build a whole new emergency wing for animal care. Dr. Mia tried to say no, but Keanu insisted. He added one last request. If anything bad like this ever happens again, call me right away. No matter where I am. Dr. Mia nodded with tears in her eyes. With Buddy's leash in hand, they walked out into the fresh afternoon air. Buddy sniffed everything as they walked, his eyes wide like he was seeing the world again. He was still a little wobbly but getting stronger with every step. When they got back to the movie set, everyone cheered. The whole crew had heard that Buddy survived and helped stop a group of bad people. The director stopped filming and came over to greet them. We moved all your scenes to next week, he said, but we saved one scene, just in case you made it back early. He handed Keanu a new page of the script. It was a simple scene. A man and his dog walking through the city. No fighting. No stunts. No cuts. Just a real, quiet moment. Jason read it and smiled. I like this version better. They spent the afternoon filming in the park. The camera stayed far away. There was no shouting, no action. Just Buddy walking beside Keanu step by step. Halfway through, the sun came out from behind the clouds. It felt like a special sign. Between scenes, Keanu would kneel to pet Buddy and whisper gentle words. Jason helped the crew and joked with them, but he always kept an eye on Buddy and Keanu. When the scene ended, the director shouted, "Cut. That's the one." And everyone agreed. Later, they sat on a bench under some trees. Buddy lay at their feet, resting. Jason looked at Keanu. "You know, this could have gone really badly." "I know," Keanu said, looking off into the distance. "But it didn't, because we didn't let it." "Do you think it's really over?" Jason asked. Keanu shrugged. "For now. They're in jail. The gang's done. The news moved on. But I don't think it will ever be truly over, not for us." Jason nodded. "Well, if anything like this happens again, we'll be ready." That evening, back at the hotel, Keanu got a call from Sheriff Dale. The final lab tests were done. They showed that the dog hairs matched the boots of one of the gang members. The charges were made even more serious. Now they were also being charged with hurting animals. "The district attorney will make a big announcement tomorrow," Dale said. "You did the right thing, Keanu. Not everyone speaks up when animals are hurt. But you did." Keanu thanked him and hung up. He felt peaceful. That kind of peace you only get when you've made something wrong into something right. Before bed, Keanu took Buddy for a walk down a quiet street. Jason joined him halfway with a small bag of treats and a flashlight. "Do you ever think a dog walk would lead to taking down a biker gang?" Jason joked. Keanu laughed. "No. And I never thought I'd love a pit bull I met on a movie set so much." Buddy barked once like he agreed. They stopped at the corner, waiting for the traffic light. The city was calm now. Keanu looked at Buddy, then at Jason. "Sometimes a movie role teaches you something bigger than acting." "Like what?" Jason asked. Keanu smiled. "Like loyalty. Like knowing when to stand up and fight. Like realizing that if you see something wrong and don't stop it, then you're part of the problem." Jason nodded. "That's one big lesson." The light turned green. They crossed the street together, Buddy walking proudly between them. The city didn't know the whole story. And maybe it never would. But that was okay because they knew. And that was enough. Sometimes the smallest act of cruelty shows us the darkest secrets. But being brave, staying loyal, and doing the right thing can change everything. If you like this story, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe for more thrilling adventures, mysteries, and unforgettable moments. Your support keeps these stories alive and the creativity flowing. Thanks for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next video.